Today, we're diving straight into an absolute nail-biter of a match, a do-or-die World Cup clash between Jordan and Algeria. Set right in Santa Clara, this was one of those games where sporting history was just waiting to be written. We're going to unpack the whole shebang, the early dominance, the shocking twists, and a finale literally no one saw coming.
So, what exactly happens when a tournament debutante's wildest dream collides head-on with a powerhouse's pure desperation? Well, right off the bat, the stakes could not have been higher. Both of these squads suffered really painful defeats in their opening games. For Group J, the math was brutal but simple. Only one team survives this matchup. The loser, they're packing their bags.
The sheer contrast on the pitch was honestly staggering. On one side, you have the hopeful newcomers, Jordan. They're stepping onto this grand stage for the very first time, just bursting with energy, grit, and, these massive dreams. And on the flip side, the African powerhouses, Algeria. These are battle-tested veterans carrying the heavy weight of expectation, suddenly finding their backs totally pressed against the wall. We're going to map out the sheer drama of this match from start to finish. From that super tense opening kickoff to a completely shocking 1-0 Jordanian lead at halftime. Then we hit 65 minutes with an inevitable Algerian equalizer, all leading up to an agonizing, chaotic climax in the 82nd minute that changed absolutely everything.
Act 1, the ambush.
Okay, so Algeria came out swinging right from the very first whistle. They knew their tournament lives were hanging by a thread, and returning veteran Riyad Mahrez got a golden opportunity early on to put his team ahead. But wow, Jordan's defensive wall, anchored by their goalkeeper Yazid Abu Laila, stood unbelievably tall. They were just soaking up the pressure, waiting patiently for the absolute perfect moment to strike. And when that moment finally arrived, Jordan executed it flawlessly. It started with a massive, completely unexpected blunder in the Algerian defense. Mousa Al Tamari reacted with lightning speed, finding Nizar Al Rashdan, who, let me tell you, did not hesitate for a second. He struck the ball with absolute precision right into the bottom right corner. It was a textbook ambush. Against all odds, the underdogs took a 1-0 lead into the break, and the stadium just erupted. If you've ever rooted for a Cinderella story, you can imagine exactly what the vibe in that locker room felt like. Jordan, the tournament debutants, were literally 45 minutes away from a historic World Cup victory, pushing the African giants dangerously close to total elimination. Act 2. The Awakening. Realizing their entire World Cup campaign was slipping away, Algeria made some massive tactical adjustments in the second half. The intensity dialed way up across the entire pitch. Their passing got so much sharper and way faster, really stretching that defense. Suddenly, it was just a sea of green shirts absolutely swarming the Jordanian penalty box, utterly desperate to break down that low block. And that relentless pressure just had to break the wall eventually. The playmaker, Riyad Mahrez, stepped up for a crucial corner kick and delivered this beautiful, arching cross. Substitute Nadhir Benbouali, who was brought on for this exact kind of moment, rose above everyone and sent a powerful header right into the back of the net. Boom! The game is leveled at 1-1. Act 3. The Heartbreak. So, with just 8 minutes left on the clock, the tension in Santa Clara was thick enough to cut with a knife. Another set piece ended up being the catalyst, and it sparked absolute panic and chaos inside the Jordanian penalty area. I mean, bodies were flying everywhere. The ball was pinging around like a pinball, and control was just completely out the window. Which brings us to one of the most heartbreaking phrases in all of sports, a cruel deflection off Jordan's goal scorer. In this twist of terrible sporting irony, the ball deflected directly off Jordan's earlier hero, Nizar Al Rashdan. It fell just perfectly into the path of Amine Gouiri, who was not going to miss his chance, and he just poked it right home. But hold on, the drama wasn't over yet. We went to a 2-minute VAR check. Now, 2 minutes might sound fast, but in football time, especially with tournament survival on the line, that's roughly 2 agonizing years for every single fan, player, and coach holding their breath in that stadium. Finally, the referee signals. Goal awarded. The comeback is complete, making it 2-1 for Algeria. The pure relief pouring out of the Algerian side was palpable, but man, the sheer devastation for the debutants was just as visible.
The World Cup aftermath.
The final result really gives us a tale of profound contrast. For Algeria, this incredibly hard-fought 2-1 victory means their round of 32 dreams stay alive. They survive to fight another day on the grandest stage in sports. For Jordan, yeah, it's a heartbreaking defeat, but you have to say their historic and unbelievably brave debut run ends with their heads held incredibly high. They absolutely proved they belong here. So, wrapping up the ask, can Algeria actually carry this massive survival momentum into their next match against Austria? They pulled off a dramatic, momentum-shifting escape today, for sure. But will this fierce test be the exact spark they need to conquer a monumental clash in the next round? Or did this grueling, emotional roller coaster take just a bit too much out of them? Let me know what you think as the rest of the tournament unfolds.